Hey guys, welcome to On the Beat weekly podcast. On the Beat is all about giving young people a voice. We explore all the interesting topics that affect us in the world today. So come, listen, enjoy, and be inspired.
On the beat.
Yeah, it's On the Beat Again podcast, and we are in the house. Brandon is in the house, Alexia is in the house, Mikhail is in the house, and we are up here for a treat because today we're going to hit two topics, right? So let me get straight to it because we want to keep it short. Would you actually trade love for everything, or everything for love? Would you leave everything behind and go after love, right? Now, here's what happened. Last week, Princess Mako, which is the niece of the Emperor of Japan, right? She left royalty in order to marry a common man, right? They call it a commoner, a common man because of love. And she didn't even take the $1 million payout. And she's leaving her royal family to go and live in the States because her new husband is going to have, I think he had a job offer in the States, so he's going in the States, right? So my question to you, we as young people, would we leave everything we know and go and start a new life because of love?
Well, I know for me personally, I believe that love is one of the strongest things a person can feel. And I believe that you could love once. You could truly love someone once. So if I was in Princess Mako's shoes, I would choose love over money, any day. Because in my beliefs, in my nature, I should say, um, well, love for me is the best thing in the world. You can only find it in one place, and you can only find it in one person per se to choose as your spouse. I don't think that if that person and you not together, then that's just wasting love.
Yeah. So, Alexia, you're a woman. So you have to give us your woman point of view. I don't know if you have ever been in love, but is love so strong that you would leave your mother and father behind, even though it's not under their blessings?
It's not a woman point of view, it's my point of view. Because I could feel one way and then our next one will be like, what kind of this girl talking? So personally, I'm not leaving my family with no money and no nothing for a man. I can't see myself doing that. You see, she had take the money when she was going, which was like over what, 2-3
Yeah,
million?
yeah.
1 million. Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. But
It
it
was like
wasn't the
enough
millions
money
for
that she
sure.
could have lived.
Exactly.
Right. If I gain money to when I leave it, right? Why not take it and benefit myself, benefit my marriage, so that when the first few months they say it's the honeymoon phase, right? So
Yeah.
in the honeymoon phase, we don't have to worry about you going to work and stressing out yourself because we in the honeymoon phase, we honeymooning. With this
True.
money, we could live a little comfortable until it's really time to snap out of it and get into the action of things. I never been in love, so I don't know if if people who have been in love will say, I could leave my family for love. I can't see myself doing it. But then again, things easier said than done. One
I
minute I go say that, and then next minute I might actually leave just because I in love.
I've heard and seen, young people run away because of love. They leave their family because of love. At that time,
What they think is love.
yeah, what they think is love. That was say at that time, because you see, most of the times the relationship is go south afterwards. And their so-called high school sweetheart, just like how came, Princess Mako, they met in college, right? So let me go on to Mikhail, who met somebody in high school. And Mikhail, give you a little backstory now about how love is so strong that they don't care what people say.
How love is so strong that they don't really care what people say. But basically, people's opinion and thought doesn't really matter once you know what you are about with a person. It could be because everybody have history, right? Everybody has good and bad history. And people do change, and sometimes what you see in somebody else may see something else, something that might be deceiving. So, but love is something genuine. Sometimes you may see love, but it isn't love. Um, so the first time I met Amanda, I met her in Form 2. At that time, well, long time, in those early stage of high school, everybody freeing up themselves, everybody want to experience different things in life. And well, I was actually looking for somebody to love me back the way that I would love somebody. But unfortunately, at that time, the love wasn't there. Well, I would say I loved her, but her love wasn't there for me. So love is something you have to be patient for. And love is something that takes time. I don't believe in you see somebody and yeah, but I love this girl and we can get together. It don't work so because I believe if it do work so like you all said, you might just rush into it and might leave out your parents, leave out the rest of loved ones, your family, and I hear 2 times the relationship could go south. But a short brief from my story, it took me over 7 years before I actually felt love from somebody. So in my case, I would leave my family for love. Well, leave things behind for love, royalty for love.
All right, all right, all right.
You
So
see, love takes maturity too. Because from what you're saying, it just wasn't all the time because
Yeah, we was wilding. You can see as young people nowadays, they see wilding.
and Alexia said a good point there because maturity, experiences, circumstances, they tend to grow and tend to be wiser and choose wisely and make the right decision whether to leave everything. It come like if it migrating, technically, right? It'll leave in one country to go to the next, everything that they know, the same language, everything, and it just hoping for the best because they're not too sure if that relationship is going to work. So you're hoping for the best and you're hoping to prove people wrong. And I guess I wish all the best for Princess Mako and her husband, right? So here's the next story. Here's the next topic. In certain countries, your future is not in your hands, right? And in certain countries, there is a mandatory pull or call for all young people to join the army. So countries like Israel, right, where a story broke out last week as well, where a young woman, because in Israel, once you turn 18, you have to give at least 2 years service in the army, once you turn 18. So this young woman refused to accept that offer. And obviously, she would be jailed for it. And every time she come out after a little period, they go in and call she in again, and if she refuse, go back in jail. That is the concept, right? Until I don't know when. But think about it. If you were in such countries, because it's happening for both the male and female, right? You have to leave. Your future is not in your hands. For example, also like in Ethiopia, I know of where the government chooses your career. You don't choose it. The government chooses your career, right? So the government will choose your career according to what the government need. So if there's a lack of nurses in the country and you next up, okay, you're going to turn a nurse, start studying to be a nurse, them kind of stuff. So let me hear your reactions to these kind of situations if you were in their shoes.
I would have been stubborn to get locked up because I don't really like when somebody force me to do something that I don't like. But in the sense of you have to do it, then you might. It's basically you have no control of your life. You're like a robot. So it's like a human robot. So whatever them say, you have to do. And it can be stressful and like, well, what about people freedom? What about equal rights? Because in that case, like for instance, the girl that had to join the army, they want you to join the army, but she don't, and because she don't join the army, she's paying a penalty. Which for me, then it have no equality in that country. And
No human
who is
rights.
stepping up? Who's the people that come out say no, let me stand up and fight against this because I mean when you're born freely, right? You're never born with no control and no chains on your hand, no nothing.
But the difference is when you're born into a culture, you're born into a policy, born into a law that they have no choice but to abide by. Otherwise, as it highlights, there would be penalty. So just like how you said you wouldn't have that because it's stubborn and you want your own way because you have your own mind, right? I think it's because you grew up in a country that allows you to have your own mind. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. So in other sense, it will be easy for me to see that, but in a country that have a culture, it is like a pledge that they should follow and abide.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alexia, what's your take on it?
I think that they make it seem as though she's the only one who step out herself and say, that not
Yes.
happening. She could never be the only one.
Nah.
I'm positive it had many people who didn't feel comfortable doing it, but the difference was that they actually went and did it. She was probably the only one in a while, or the only one during technological times where you could post it up on YouTube and be like, this girl being stubborn, she want to she, right? So, as Mikhail was saying, I don't think I would have wanted to do it either because I am not, what is called it? I just do, that's not my thing, right? I like to stay inside. So for me to actually, I had to go outside to do all them work. That's plenty work, right? And we can also relate this story to our home lives, because some people at home just feel as though the life planned out for them and they can't do nothing. They can't shake it. They can't think it. And then when you tell your parents you being disrespectful and you're wrong. So I guess, I don't know. I know if my parents didn't need that, I was speaking out. Because I like to speak my mind. I don't like to feel as though people forcing me. And that's how I feel I might have felt. Then again, different parts of the country have different attitudes, different personalities. I could say that here while I live in here, but I could have been born there and reacted a different way. I could
Yeah.
have been like, this girl is being ridiculous and irrational. How could she not do what she's supposed to do? But at the same time, I get where she's coming from. She shouldn't be forced to do something she's not comfortable doing, especially something that mainly populated by men.
Yeah.
And most women wouldn't. That's not really their thing. They shy away from those things. So I guess I could see both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, because this situation happened in a different light. For example, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxer ever lived. Back in '67, he refused to join the U.S. Army because he was not in an agreement with the war. After he was being drafted to be part of the army, and once you're drafted, you have to be part. So because he refused, he was stripped of his heavyweight title and he was suspended from boxing and had to pay a $10,000 fine back in those days. And he had to stay 5 years in prison because he refused to join the army, right? So this have been around for a long time. Some countries has evolved from it slightly, right? For example, the US, right? But some countries still have it. And Brandon, you have a plan for your life already. And how are you going to accept the fact that you have to spend at least 2 years of your life in the army immediately?
Well, me personally, I'm someone who grew up around Call of Duty, so I've kind of
Yeah.
got a taste around not really the inner workings,
Oh.
but but what really actually the army might or is capable of doing. So I know for a fact I wouldn't mind if I had to go into the army for 2 years. I don't know if it's have other people who think just like me or who want to actually join the army at a point in time. But if it comes to drafting into the army, I wouldn't mind getting drafted. But in the case of Muhammad Ali, when he didn't agree with the war, if my country is at war, I don't agree with what my country is fighting for. I don't want to join the army either.
Mm-hmm.
So going against moral compass, let's say Canada decide that we want to raid Barbados and we killing out every single person in Barbados. No, I don't want to do that. I
True.
wouldn't join the army in that case. So it's really and truly a difficult thing because, like I said, in those kinds of countries that it is mandatory to join the army, to me it's like modern day slavery, even though it's not it's not around recently. It's
Yeah.
around a good while now, but in my opinion, is um a more developed way of slavery. Without the chains, without the beating, without all that, is mental slavery, and in the words of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Um, so if I was born into that kind of country, I know for a fact me, and from what I experienced with my family, um, we would do what we were told in those cases. But I will have my reasons not to.
Now,
Um,
now, is this
mm,
even a more a bigger reason why young people in today's society should take full use of or take full advantage of the free education they're getting, the free choice they having, and to not go south with it, but to actually make the full use of it.
no, I think most definitely young people, especially like people in general, here we have to really actually like take note of our freedoms and free education. Because if for people who on social media, there are plenty and who know about the bacchanal going on at Muti and Susan Man and both and boxing and Freeport, I find like they don't know about anything worldwide, anything that really actually like matters, the serious stuff.
Yes.
Um, because I know people in my circle that they don't know about it at all. Them don't know about um them don't know about the Syrians and don't know about the Ethiopians. They don't know
Yeah.
about that. All they know is such a punching on one side on the whole day in the hot sun. So I think that really actually we take it for granted as young
but
people in today's society.
but to come down to the end of the podcast is that knowing different cultures and being aware of what the world of young people is going through, because you don't live in a bubble, right? It have more things happening out there. True, you might be going through a hard time in life, but know for a fact that there is a young person out there who is even going through a tougher time out there. And it pays for us as young people to be aware of what happens in the world, in different societies and cultures, and to be fascinated of cultures and travel and view and experience what it have to offer. And I hope that Michael will one day go beyond Tobago. Alexia would one day reach China and be underground in those churches and just battling it out, and Brandon be in India and trying to help those who running away from being killed and them kind of stuff. I mean, we are called to be more as young people, and we are called to be more than just, I mean, it's fine to be in Trinidad. It's really good to help out our fellow Trinidadians, right? We should do the best that we can in Trinidad, but at the same time, don't box yourself in, don't stay in the bubble. So we come to the end of the podcast, and I want to thank Alexia and Brandon and Mikhail, right? And see y'all next week.
Thank you for listening to On The Beat podcast. Feel free to share, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay blessed, everyone.